Hello everybody and welcome to what I would say myself is a very special update here. When we say very special, it's just nice to feel that great atmosphere. My name's Nick Cee here. Welcome along to the actual video which you may be seeing on replay. If you happen to be on the live stream, come and leave us a comment, and we always, as usual, appreciate it. So yeah, if you have any questions that you may have for a leak, go and listen to the theme tune. Well, we have a different theme tune, or we try to have a different theme tune on each one. So of course, brace yourself, it's coming up right now. Just to let everyone know here, welcome along to, of course, the Touring With Us channel here. If you've not already spotted us, come and give us a hello. And, of course, we'll be talking about some sort of issues here that may arise. Okay, we'll be hopefully talking about the UCB word for today, which is United Christian Broadcasters, which is basically a volunteer-run Christianity kind of radio station, if you're interested in that kind of thing. So this is a track called Chill Out 2017 by Teddy J, and of course we will tell you what the names of the theme tunes are, because you won't actually get to hear that in the public eye when you hear a theme tune, but maybe you'll just know the name of the theme tune, which actually is the name of, say for example, the TV series like Lion and the Witch in the Wardrobe. But we know that's written by somebody, but of course we don't actually get told all that. You have to look it up on the credits, for example. So this is a track called Chill Out here, courtesy of Music 2000 by Teddy J in 2017. You will see my lovely face in just a moment here, and if you haven't already subscribed to Touring With Us, make sure that you hit the thumbs up first, and possibly you might be attracted to the subscription, which is of course free of charge. You don't have to pay 1 penny for the subscription, or in other words, to subscribe to Touring With Us. Very shortly we'll go live, of course, to the scenes in Suffolk, and of course in that sort of special way, that's why we're going to call it a special show today, we'll see the scenes of the weather here in Suffolk, and you'll find out what I mean when we go to the live picture. It's only one picture we're going to go to. So, of course, Touring With Us with Nick Cee follows very shortly. Oh, I'm not on. Okay, let's turn this off. Oh, that's one of the theme tunes here. There we go. And let's turn that off so we don't hear each other twice here. So, big, massive welcome to the show this afternoon here, live and direct through OBS Studio, of course, which mainly is, of course, something that we like to focus on in the future. We don't often use it, but from time to time we do. So come and say hello to us in the chat whilst, of course, we are preparing for the crossover for the live picture in just a second here, and it is very much, artistic view of, you know, pretty much a good scenic view of Haverhill. Well, you'll find out that in just a moment, but of course we want to hear from you here about, of course, anything that you want to discuss this afternoon. Curly Whirly is tuned in. A very, very good afternoon to you. That's the moderator who's firstly come in the chat. Thank you very much for spotting me. Because, of course, the notification button, basically, what it does is it pings on your phone and alerts you when we go live. We try not to alert people too much on their phones because they get annoyed with it sometimes. But, of course, at least it then tells you when we go live. So, in actual fact, we're going to cross live now. Yes, very much live to the scene in Suffolk, and it's a pretty scene. Watch this as I get prepared for this. Here we go. Are we ready to cut to the camera? 3, 2, 1, and go. There you go. Do you see it up on your screen there? Look at that beautiful scenic view here before my battery runs out on it's playing the theme tune. That should be blanked out there. Sorry about that. But yeah, basically you're seeing a pretty much just a pretty view of an artistic view of the weather here in Suffolk. I thought I'd surprise you on a special note here that I have flipped from one camera to another. Now, how this works, okay? Firstly, OBS Studio is free to use, and second of all, you need another camera, which is like iPhone 7 or even Samsung, same thing, but obviously the iPhone 7 is a lot better, clearer pictures. Although, of course, when I tried to adjust the zoom, it went a little bit blurry, so you have to sort of take time to get rid of the blur when you go in zoom. But of course, I've zoomed it as far as I can go on here, and I can't actually get it any better than that. But of course, let's see if I can make it more interesting, so you can just basically see the clouds here. So yeah, I can actually make it wider picture on the OBS Studio. So if you're still hearing my voice here, welcome along to the channel. You're still seeing the pictures and hopefully the audio at the same time, although this audio is coming from the direct webcam, which of course is fitted up on the laptop here. Maybe we'll show you a video at some point showing you behind the scenes. But yeah, you can see that the cloud is actually moving there, and you see a little bit of sunshine with the sun shining through, making it a blue sky. Now, of course, I've got some information about, of course, the sky as we speak. So, yeah, it's just beautiful to see. Just remember that the sun is always here, even when it's actually cloudy. You still see it. Although, of course, it might be full of cloud, okay, but the sun is still there. Even if you fly in an aeroplane during the daytime, you can still see the sun shining actually above the clouds. Just to bear that in mind. Of course, yeah, something to know about the Earth itself that you may not have known before. Some of you already know. When it is night time for you, some poor person has got daytime. Well, actually, it's a good thing because, it could be sunny, but on the sort of other side, it could be raining. It is daytime for people living on the other side of the Earth, but some person on the, or maybe just a section of the Earth would have the night time on the other side of the Earth. of course, there is pictures here. If I go back to the screen here, which of course is back to the truss camera here. Let's go back for a second here. There is a picture illustrated in this booklet here that has been kept for many years, and it's been a booklet worth £1, which is probably worth more to that these days. And the picture illustrates, of course, this place of the Earth, I believe it's talking about, will go round once in 24 hours, midday, evening, and midnight. The picture shows the Earth and the Sun from outer space. The Earth is always spinning around. The Earth takes 24 hours to spin around once. This is why a day is 24 hours long. Maybe you knew this, maybe you didn't. Okay, you can actually make your own model of a moon, because we're going to now talk about the moon here, which is a ball of rock which goes around the Earth. It takes about a month to go around once. The moon is very dry itself and very rocky. It is covered mostly with powdery dust. Nothing actually, unless we can scientifically change that fact, nothing actually grows on the moon. It has to have some sort of life. The moon has no light itself of its own. It reflects the actual light from the sun, which goes back to Earth. So you can actually make your own moon model, just like this one here. Can you all see that? Okay, and of course you've got the measurements. To see the difference between the sizes on the Earth and the moon, make 2 balls of plasticine. The sizes of the balls are shown above. The big one is the Earth. Now join the 2 balls with a piece of string 1.5 meters long. This will give you some idea of the distance from the Earth to the moon. So there we have it. We'll go back to the scene because I want to show you, of course, a really good scene there. Once again, you can see the clouds have now moved since, of course, this wonderful picture of the webcam, which, of course, is using an app called Droid Cam. You can download that yourself and try it. And to do this, you'd actually need a webcam, another webcam, or your phone if you like. You just need to type in the codes and all that kind of thing. It's quite cleverly done actually, because I'm quite technical in terms of that. And you probably need a brain to do all this, and of course a laptop as well. So yeah, it's probably best if you use your laptop. It's quite fiddly on your phones, unless you are really sort of technically sort of fiddly and don't mind doing all that. But of course, yeah, I think there's ways of doing it on your phone, but of course using the laptop is so much easier. So we need our laptops, we need our phones for small camera usage and all that kind of thing. Something that we might actually start using for the Nice and Relaxing show, different camera angles, which would be absolutely super fantastic. So you can see the lovely beautiful clouds, as of course it's going kind of overcast, but you can see the clouds are actually moving here, and it's live pictures at its very best. And we've got Alex Bailey in the chat. Where am I? Of course, in Suffolk. 5 minutes away from your studio. That is the answer to that. That's where I am right now. Can't you see the difference? So if you cut from me, you will see me here, and I've gone from one place, and I can click now. There you go. And you know, you can go from one camera to the other, and then back to me again. How cool is that? That's called a cut-in as well. We've got a fade button as well. I won't use it because it will enable me to get the other camera back up again. You can fade to black, you can cut it out, which is this bit here, which is that, and of course you can also just fade, you know, on its own, and of course you can set it to how long the fade will be. So in other words, it will just go back to black. That's what the fade is basically. And there's another way of fade as well, which is actually called a mix camera. You know, that's what I will actually call it, but it basically blends into another camera, makes it look like Songs of Praise or something like that. What that used to be like when it used to go around all the churches and show you different sort of slow camera movements, and you'll see it mostly at Carols for Kings at King's College in Cambridge. But the problem is with that, they don't often do it as much as they used to, but they do on some Songs of Praise kind of, you know, places that you will see if they go to a church. But anyway, we'll talk about UCB word for today very, very soon. But we'll go back to the picture again. And of course, you can see the clouds that have moved. And there's another gap of, you can see itself, the blue sky is coming out there. So if you was a, you know, passenger in a plane, then you would actually still see the sun. I've actually experienced that because I've actually been on a plane. I'm too petrified to go on a plane here. Who here in the comments are actually these days petrified of going on a plane? I don't know whether it is safe to do so because of what happened with the Singapore train. You know, somebody fell ill on it, for example. Although I'm not someone that actually gets ill on travel, I get sort of travel lagged, or if you're on an airplane, it's jet lagged. But yeah, it's the same sort of thing. You could be travel lagged or jet lagged at any time. But the weirdest scenario is when I came back from Great Yarmouth recently, is that, of course, I came back, of course, hobbling my, is it leg or was it my ankles? I don't know. But, of course, the strangest thing is maybe because I was sitting down too long on a travel, and that could cause a lot of issues, and not being used to travel for a long distance for a while, and that can be an issue as well. But yeah, after a few days it went away, and I was actually hobbling, feeling like, of course, I lost my leg or something. It was really, really a weird experience. So have you ever experienced something very similar to that? So yeah, we've got some more people watching in here. Thank you very much indeed. I tried to blank the area that I'm in because, you know, it's a residential area, and I am on low battery, so you'll have to go back to my picture in just a moment. So I've got 20% of battery remaining on the other camera, which you're seeing right now here. So make the most of that. The clouds have now moved here. You can see, you know, by weather expertise, maybe you don't need to be a weather expertise to see that these clouds have sort of moved very, very slowly. It's interesting to say the least. You don't need to be a scientist to know that, but of course it's there in front of your very eyes there. Absolutely brilliant, isn't it? And so, yeah, I can see the clouds moving over here, and eventually it might be just blue sky. I can't believe it. So, yeah, I will be heading off to a local town soon. But, yeah, I shouldn't have told Curly Whirly that. Now that I told her, because she is my partner of all time, and I actually mentioned that on a Haverhill group. And I'll be talking about, of course, Haverhill and local news. You know, people saying about the Weatherspoons on there, you know, and saying different sort of opinions here. You know, you might say some moaners on there are Ramonas or Remainers, Ramonas. I don't know what you call it these days. But people seem to moan about everything these days, don't they? But, you know, certain people, not everybody, because I'm not usually a moaner. I never moaned in my life. So, there you go. So, yeah. Right, okay. How Alex you fancy? Right. Okay. Alex, I fancy Talusia from the X Factor badly. Okay. Yeah. As I say, this is not a you know, a chat where you sort of date people on here, but of course, he's saying he fancies to Lucia from the X Factor badly. Well, it's a fantasy. Well, you fancy. Well, yeah, Alex lives in Bury at the moment, and he's actually very happy over there at the moment. So that's good. Uh, uh, everyone thinks I am annoying. Yeah, of course he's got a little bit of a disability. Alex has, and I think he's got a syndrome or something, which of course cannot be helped. A lot of people out there have got, of course, symptoms that they can't help. There was one. I'm not going to mention any names here, but a friend of ours has been banned from a Witherspoon's pub just because of personal hygiene. But of course, there is reasons behind that. Some people think it's, of course, his own fault, and of course, others think it's discrimination. So there's both sides of the story on that. Remember, there's both sides of the story on everything, pretty much. We have to go through in this modern day and age. So we're back, of course, still with the clouds here. Have you noticed the clouds have, of course, moved very, very slowly, which is quite nice. See if we can get the first thumbs up here. He is at home, Alex, and, well, it's not his home. Yeah, absolutely. So... yeah, I don't know if anyone here has been on a plane. Alex, have you actually been on a plane recently? I have to Spain, Germany, and America as well, back in the day of the 1990s. And did you know, of course, Giuliani Buzz from the Nice and Relaxing Show. Oh, did you see the bus go by there? A bit of it there. But like I say, Giuliani Buzzing, or Buzz from the Nice and Relaxing channel, he actually went up the train, not the train, what am I talking about? The Trade Centre, the World Trade Centre, the two buildings that went down, sadly, by planes, as we were talking about planes. That's why it's so petrifying sometimes to even think of going on a plane these days, because you never know whether you're going to go into turbulence, which is basically, I presume, because a lot of people talk about turbulence, when the plane goes whoa, whoa, a bit up and down. Sometimes, of course, a bus can go in turbulence as well. You think something's going to happen, do they? But it's very strange, the experience that we went through sitting at the top deck. It can go through a bit of turbulence. You think something's going to happen, don't you? But not very often with buses, but of course it's more with the planes. But yeah, you can see the clouds have moved very nicely here. It's nice and sunny. Make the most of this, because apparently during the week, towards the end of the week, the rain is going to come back on Friday. So yeah, we don't know how accurate our mobile phones are, but that is pretty much the guess. And the temperatures are going to be up and down from 17 degrees to 16 degrees, and it's going to be a bit of a mixture here. You don't need to be a weather expert these days for me to tell you. That's my weather expertise, over and out. Absolutely. So, yeah, Nick is weird sometimes. Am I weird? Really? My phone is not great. What do you mean? Which phone is that? Your phones are too slow spark plugs. Right, okay. Change your phones. How can I change my phones? Change my actions? What do you mean by that? Change my moods. How can I do that? I'm not one that has got a strange atmosphere or anything like that. Well, why? Yeah, strange my mood in what way? But I don't quite understand that. But yeah, I'm always changing my moods all the time, and people just love my down-to-earth kind of style. You know, no one should be changing for anyone really, but I would say do my best to. But of course, I am who I am. I can't always change who I am. And some people want me to dye my hair, and some people say no. Leave it as it is. So I'm sort of maybe confused on who's right and who's wrong. So that's the world that we're living in, because you're confused of who's right, who's wrong. And I don't really want to get into a debate about it because it's not really worth it. So yeah, I've got 10% battery on that phone, so it's gonna die out anytime soon. So we're going to leave you with the last picture there. Of the clouds moving, crossing live to Suffolk there, in a location. The only way that I can use this camera here is on the same Wi-Fi. I think it's got to be on the same Wi-Fi, otherwise it will not work, apparently. It will not work on 4G, or 4G, if you like. For some reason, I do not know why. It has to be a localised internet broadband for it to work on the Droid Cam. I've discovered that myself. So let's go back to matters of hand. Let's go and see my apparent beautiful face. Is this some sort of wind-up that I don't know about? But saying I'm weird. It's not weird. It's because I wanted to show everyone, of course, the different scenes. That's why. So that's the reason why I'm not showing myself all the time. But yeah, it's not weird. It's because I was actually showing a little bit of the clouds. Some people might like to see what the weather's like here, for example. I was actually trying to test that with Julian recently, but he doesn't know how to do Together Live. But if anyone wants to have an interview on Together Live, that would be absolutely brilliant. Together Live is a new feature for the YouTube, and I don't think many people use it, and I don't think many people know how to use it, and they're so sort of petrified that it actually sets up a link, and then of course they think it's a fraud link. Actually, it isn't. It does work. You have to preview your live first to make sure that we're getting a good signal, that kind of thing. And yeah, basically, on that note, of course, yeah, you can actually go Together Live when you preview it first, and then you hit that live button. And of course, the person that is live can have access to the Together Live, and of course when they have finished with the person that is talking to the main person, then of course at the end of the day the host has the right to finish the stream. So yeah, lots of I would say crosses on there. Is that from Curly Wurly? Are you still in the chat, by the way? Or is somebody else still watching here? Of course, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the Touring with Us. We will have generally daily updates here, and to keep up with you, and of course, if we can, depending on what we're doing in the day. But yeah, I'm going to go through to the UCB word for today, so bear with me. I'll be right back. I'm going to read a different one here, to say the least. It's going to be slightly different to the ones that I read. I might have read some of them before, but I do really need a new one of these because, it's a bit sort of on the manky side. But anyway, of course, yes, I won't be on for too long because, number one, I don't really want to bore you guys off and, of course, scare you all off. But Yeah, it's interesting, but I will, of course, if I got enough battery left, and I will actually hide myself for a bit. But of course, I will be back. Just listen to the audio here. It's better to listen to something rather than just seeing my face all the time, because sometimes I'm a little bit shy. I do need Alvin to cheer me up a little bit, so he is missing, by the way. So, yeah, this is UCB word for today. I'm going to cross over to the live section a bit here, and of course, there we go. There we have it. Of course, you can see the beautiful atmospheric clouds and the sky to go with it, and you can see the moving clouds there. So as we sort of refer to God here, but you don't have to agree with this, or you might want to agree. It's entirely up to you, but you might find the words just as useful. How to know God? They know the truth about God because he has made it obvious to them. There are three ways whereby you can know God is real and have a relationship with him. 1. An intellectual knowledge of God. They know the truth about God because he has made it obvious to them. Forever since the world was created, people have seen the earth and sky. Through everything God has made, they can clearly see his invisible qualities, his internal power and divine nature. So they have no excuse for not knowing God. Number 2, subconscious knowledge of God. Even Gentiles who do not have God's written law. So even Gentiles who do not have God's written law show that they know his law and when instinctively obey it even without having heard it. They demonstrate that God's law is written in their hearts. For their own conscience and thoughts either excuse them or tell them they are doing right. Number 3, personal knowledge of God. At one time we thought of Christ merely from a human point of view. How differently now him now. Actually, how different we know him now. This means that anyone belongs to Christ has become a new person. The old life has gone, a new life has begun. God reveals himself to us through creation. He speaks to us through our conscience and reveals his moral character and requirements. But beyond that, we know that God personally and have a relationship with him through his Son. Jesus said, I am the light of the world. He who follows me shall not walk in darkness, but have the light of life. There is one sure way to satisfy yourself that God is real. Flip the switch. That's all I'm going to read from now, and I'm going to flick it back to me. And of course, yes, just enough battery there to say the least here. So, yeah, where is the stream? Are you all still watching here? That's the main thing here, and some people have got bored with me already. But, of course, some people might be hiddenly watching here. So I'd like to thank you all for watching, because we are going to finish up this live right now. And my thanks to the mods that have come in here to watch me talk about, of course, the UCB United Christian Broadcasters segments from which have been sort of adapted from a Bible, but of course, you know, you don't have to believe it if you don't want to, but you can if you want. So it's a bit of mixture there. So thank you very much for watching. We're going to play out with the theme tune here, and until next time, do take care.